Ever felt that instant rush of adrenaline when you hear words like indestructible or razor sharp forever? They're not just words. They're promises of power, safety, and survival. Brands know exactly how to push that button, feeding your imagination with images of unstoppable blades and epic adventures. But here is the twist. What if those promises were nothing more than carefully crafted illusions designed to make you believe you're prepared, when in reality, you're not? Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, we're going to expose the truth behind these claims and reveal how to truly pick a knife you can trust when it matters most. Now picture this. You're miles deep into a trail, night creeping in, the forest whispering with every gust of wind, and you pull out the knife that was supposed to cut through anything, only to find it struggles with a simple thick branch. That's the moment marketing myths collapse. That's when you realize a survival knife isn't about slogans. It's about performance. In this video, we're not holding anything back. We'll strip away the flashy promises and show you what actually works, so you'll never be caught off guard again. We're going hands-on. Real tests, real pressure, real results. You'll see these knives in action, pushed beyond their limits. We'll teach you to read past the packaging, spot the myths instantly, and recognize the subtle signs of a blade built for survival, not for shelf appeal. By the end of this video, you won't just know what to buy, you'll know why you're buying it. And that critical eye you develop here will sharpen every decision you make in the field. To truly separate hype from reality, you need hands-on tests. Imagine putting two knives side by side, one marketed as unbreakable, the other field-tested by experienced survivalists. You cut ropes, hack branches, and exert pressure beyond normal conditions. The unbreakable blade struggles, bends, and even chips, while the reliable knife performs smoothly every time. Seeing the contrast firsthand is powerful. It reinforces the lesson that marketing promises rarely reflect real-world performance. A knife's reputation is earned through use, not slogans. And this is why practical testing is essential for any prepper or adventurer who takes survival seriously. Slow-motion footage adds clarity to the differences. Watch as the first knife warps and bends, small cracks appearing along the edge. Compare it to the field-tested blade gliding through obstacles with ease, maintaining its edge without drama. This isn't just about performance. It's about trust. You need to know your tool will work when stakes are high and mistakes are costly. By simulating real-world scenarios in controlled conditions, you gain insight into the subtle signs that indicate durability, flexibility, and usability. Knowledge that no ad or packaging can teach. Hands-on testing also builds confidence. You start recognizing which steels handle force, which designs resist wear, and which features are purely cosmetic. Instead of guessing based on flashy claims, you base your choices on observable results. This mindset is transferable to every survival decision: gear selection, campsite setup, and even rationing supplies. Testing tools yourself transforms passive buyers into critical thinkers, capable of making informed decisions that could literally save your life. When a knife claims to be unbreakable, it sounds like the ultimate tool, right? But here's the harsh truth. Every blade has a breaking point. No steel, no matter how fancy, can defy physics forever. In real-life survival situations, even the toughest knives can chip, bend, or snap under pressure. Understanding this is the first step in separating clever marketing from practical reality. Have you ever trusted a knife because of flashy marketing, only to have it betray you at the worst moment? Picture a hiker deep in the forest, night falling, relying on a knife labeled indestructible. A thick branch blocks the path, and as they apply force, the blade snaps with a sharp, terrifying crack. Suddenly, a tool meant to protect becomes a source of panic, showing how marketing can give a false sense of security. Real survival isn't about promises. It's about performance, reliability, and knowing your equipment can withstand actual pressure. The frustration of a failing knife is compounded by the environment. Darkness, cold, and fatigue make every misstep feel magnified. When the blade bends or chips, it is not just about cutting a branch. It is about losing confidence in your ability to handle the situation. Seeing a knife fail in real life is like seeing the magician's trick revealed. The illusion disappears, leaving you with the stark truth. That first-hand failure becomes an unforgettable lesson in discernment and preparedness. The science behind it is fascinating. Every type of steel has properties that determine flexibility, hardness, and toughness. Marketing often glosses over these details, focusing instead on fear and desire. By knowing the material limits, you can make smarter choices about which knife will actually serve you in real-world conditions. And once you grasp this, it naturally leads us to the next trap, the tactical hype that promises military-grade performance. The term tactical sounds impressive, doesn't it? Military-grade, combat-ready, ultimate preparedness. Marketing loves throwing these buzzwords around. But here's the catch. Most of those flashy features are unnecessary for civilian survival. A knife covered in buttons, ridges, and over-the-top grips might look cool, but in real situations, simplicity often wins. Understanding this is key to spotting the difference between hype and genuine utility. Picture two knives side by side, one sleek and practical, the other with tactical flair, extra tools, and an intimidating design. Often, the simpler design performs better, is easier to handle, and won't slow you down when every second counts. Some tactical features can even compromise the knife's primary purpose. Overbuilt guards, unnecessary serrations, or gimmicky grips reduce cutting efficiency and make maintenance harder. Recognizing these pitfalls builds your mental checklist for evaluating knives effectively. One of the biggest traps in knife marketing is the promise of ultra-hard steel that keeps an edge forever. Sounds amazing, right? But here's what they don't tell you. The harder the steel, the more difficult it is to sharpen in the field. That trade-off can leave you with a knife that cuts beautifully at first, but becomes a nightmare when you need to restore its edge without specialized tools. Knowing this ahead of time can save frustration and even danger. Imagine being miles from civilization, your ultra-hard blade dull from repeated use, and realizing you can't get it sharp again with the small stone you packed. That's a real survival problem, not just an inconvenience. A balanced steel, hard enough to hold an edge but soft enough to sharpen with basic gear, is often far more practical. Learning these trade-offs shifts your focus from marketing labels to functional qualities that actually matter in survival. There's a simple exercise anyone can do. Next time you're considering a knife, research not just the hardness rating, but also the ease of sharpening. Look for reviews from people who've used the knife in real outdoor conditions, not just unboxing videos. Once you see through this trade-off, you're ready to question another layer of hype, those flashy, all-in-one survival features hidden in knife handles. You've probably seen knives with compasses in the handle, built-in fire starters, or mini survival kits. They look like something out of a spy movie, right? But here is the uncomfortable truth. Most of those all-in-one features are unreliable when you actually need them. The more moving parts a knife has, the more likely something will break. A survival knife should be a dependable tool, not a gimmicky gadget. Imagine pulling out your knife in an emergency, trying to spark a fire with the built-in striker, only to realize it barely produces a spark. Or worse, the hollow handle holding your essentials snaps under pressure, leaving you with nothing but frustration. That's why seasoned survivalists carry separate, dedicated tools: a solid knife, a reliable fire starter, and a good compass. This isn't about spending more money. It's about choosing wisely. A simple fixed blade knife paired with standalone survival gear is often lighter, stronger, and far more reliable than a flashy, all-in-one package. Seeing the marketing trap for what it is, a distraction from what really matters, empowers you to make your own informed choices. At this point, you're no longer just a buyer. You're a critical thinker in a world full of marketing noise. Choosing the right survival knife isn't about falling for the flashiest ad. It's about matching the tool to your real-life needs. Ask simple but powerful questions. What tasks will I actually perform? What materials will I be cutting? How easily can I maintain this blade in the field? These questions shift you from being sold to being in control. Think of it like choosing a car. You wouldn't buy a sports car to haul heavy lumber or take it off-road, right? The same goes for knives. Research steels known for balanced performance, like 1095 or Sandvik, and ergonomic handles that fit naturally in your hand, not just aggressive designs that look tactical. This ensures your knife becomes a trusted partner, not a fancy liability. And here's where the real power lies. Once you develop the habit of questioning marketing claims, you'll start applying it to other gear too. Tents, backpacks, water filters, you name it. It's a skill that multiplies your preparedness across every area of survival. The ultimate takeaway isn't just about steel or handles. It's about seeing yourself as a confident, empowered decision maker in high-stakes situations.